Hi, this is Gary Chalk, and you're listening to the Geekcast Radio Network.
Remember, there are great comedies every Sunday night on the WB. First, Steven Spielberg presents Pinky and the Brain. This week, everyone's favorite lab mice try to take over the world. Did you expect me to say eat cheese and run from a cat? Well, that might happen too. And did you know that every week there's a Sister Sunday bonus? The WB Sunday night Kiss the Frog, baby.
And now, all you future delinquents out there and drains on society, as we promised, it's time once again to attend our fabulous behind-the-scenes school of cartoon production. Today's lesson:
how do they do those crazy voices?
Check it out, Peter.
Yes, everyone loves to use their vocal cords in creative, acrobatic, and hilarious ways.
We've got a fish to find.
And from the moment the script gets written, everyone wants to get into the act. From the writers...
And he goes... Criminy! Something smells like prehistoric cheese!
To the creator of the cartoon himself.
Golly, Jim, what are we gonna do?
All the way to the highly paid, professional, Hollywood-type actors who actually do this for a living.
Oh, good point.
And in case you're wondering, yes, famous actors do some of the voices for our cartoon. Comedian Andrea Martin does Queen Slug for a butt.
And your little dog, too.
And the infamous Dan Castellaneta, better known as the voice of Homer Simpson, is also the voice of Earthworm Jim.
Onward, Mrs. Blubberidge, in search of your cherished egg beater. You're too good at this.
Yes, he is pretty good at that, isn't he? Ooh, oh, looks like fun, doesn't it, huh? Can you believe grown people actually get paid big bucks to do this stuff? Well, I've got to get back to doing voices.
And there you have it. Voices, voices, voices.
Groovy.
And now, just to see if you've been paying attention, here's a trivia question. Get the answer right and you could win an all-expenses-paid vacation trip to the tropical paradise of Barbados with the actual space crickets themselves. Okay, what is Mrs. Blubberidge's horrifyingly gruesome cosmetic secret? The totally absurd yet hypothetically correct answer coming up right after the Egg Beater. And now, as we promised, here's the answer to our Earthworm Jim trivia question. What is Mrs. Blubberidge's horrifyingly gruesome cosmetic secret? She's bald and wears a fakey wig.
Luckily, your incredibly fakey wig clogged the mechanism, saving your brains from suckage most foul. Aha! I knew it!
If you knew the answer, you could be sipping cider by the sea with a space cricket on your fantastic, all-expenses-paid vacation to Barbados by this time tomorrow. Okay, maybe not. But thanks for playing anyway, okay? And remember, you can learn more about the making of Earthworm Jim with every episode you buy, because each cassette contains vital, earth-shattering facts about the writing and drawing of this miraculous, life-saving cartoon. Collect them all and become the most brilliant, knowledgeable person you know about the incredible adventures of Earthworm Jim.
Hey, you missed my dramatic moment.
Tough noogies. We'll get it next time.
Hello and welcome to episode 67 of Pixels in the Animation. Yes, that's right, folks. We are back. We come at you every Thursday on the Geekcast Radio Network. And starting with episode 70, we're going to be also syndicated over on thisweekingeek.net. So there's that. But we're back at Earthworm Jim Season 1, Part 2. This is the final 6 episodes. We've got The Egg Beater, Trout, The Great Secret of the Universe, Bring Me the Head of Earthworm Jim, Queen What's-Her-Name, and The Anti-Fish. Alrighty then. The Egg Beater has got to be the craziest episode of Season 1. It really does.
Yes.
So, basically, Jim loses his neighbor's egg beater and takes her on a journey to recover it. They go all the way across the universe to try to find an egg beater he had in his pocket the whole time. What the hell?
That's a very meta commentary on just how people have a tendency to lose things that are, like, literally in their pocket, or like people are like, where are my glasses? And it's up on their forehead or something.
Mm-hmm.
or just people losing their keys, and it's in the most obvious place.
Oh, so story time with TF2 and Mike here, folks. So before I left on my vacation to California, I made sure I double-checked, triple-checked, made sure I had everything. For 2 weeks before I left, I'd been looking for a pad of paper. On this pad of paper, my dad had... because I've been reconnecting with my dad since my mom passed away. So over the last 2 years since Mom passed, I've been kind of reconnecting with my dad. And I was like, write your address down so I can mail you a postcard, blah, blah, blah. So he wrote it down, and I had the pad of paper, and he had taken me grocery shopping that day, and came home and put the groceries away, and I put the pad of paper, I thought, right on my desk where I could, be able to put his address in my phone or whatever else, and, 2 days later, I can't find the damn thing. 2 months later, when I leave for the trip, I still can't find the damn thing. The day of the trip that I went out to California, actually the day before, we were having a little special holiday show and tell thing here in my apartment building, because they try to do... I live in a building with seniors and disabled people, because I am a disabled person, so every now and then they try to do, events and things in the community room that we have in the first floor. So one of the things they set up was a holiday show and tell, and I'm like, okay, cool, I've got something from 2009 that I can bring down, and it was basically a little... You know how you go into whatever store, Rite Aid, Walgreens, whatever, and you find various little holiday things during... I found this thing where, because I am addicted, at Christmas time, I'm addicted to red and green M&Ms. The Christmas M&Ms, oh God, I can eat bags upon bags of those damn things. And I know they're the same damn M&Ms as the original M&Ms, it's just red and green ones, but it's always been a holiday tradition. So my mom had seen this thing. It was a giant tin with a 1 pound bag of red and green M&Ms in it. The tin had a story about how red and yellow had to save Christmas because red knocked Santa out or something or other. So long story short here, before I left, I went to go find this thing so I could show this at the event. Couldn't find the damn thing. I tried finding the piece of paper and the pad. Couldn't find that whatsoever. I come home from vacation after getting my heart broken because she dumped me. And come home, I find the pad of paper, and I find the fucking M&M thing. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. This is ridiculous.
You should have prefaced that story with, okay, funny story.
Yeah. Funny and depressing all at the same time. Anyway, so yeah, finding things that, but it was one of those things where it's like, I knew where that was. And the sad thing was the M&M thing was right under something that I had looked at for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Good.
It is.
Yep. So then we've got an episode, The Fur Barren Trout, which is nothing but a hoax.
Right.
That episode was a little strange, I think. I enjoyed it, but it was a little strange. The one thing I find weird about this series is sometimes they try... It was on Kids WB, but they tried to do the Cartoon Network treatment to it a little bit, I think, because they had different segments to it. Like Evil the Cat had segments that had nothing to do with Earthworm Jim, and the narrator would even say, okay, now we're having an adventure with Evil the Cat that has nothing to do with our regularly scheduled program. And some of those, I'm like, what the hell?
It almost felt like Animaniacs or Freakazoid whenever they would do that.
Yep.
Just cut away and be like, here's a story, here's a complete non sequitur.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's the intermission. Let's play Find the Fish. Stuff like that. Although that's actually what this episode was Find the Fish.
Yep.
More Monty Python references, by the way.
Yeah, I think Doug Tennapel really did enjoy the Monty Python stuff, because the Monty Python references are all over this series.
Yeah, he's not really credited as a writer on this show, but he must have been in there like, okay, look, we can't do this Dora the Explorer shit, or whatever was on at the time. No Magic School Bus. We're gonna do straight out comedy. Or maybe he just pulled up an episode of Darkstalkers and just said, no.
Well, since we mentioned him, for television, his first gig was he was an animator on Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
Yeah, and you can tell, too. I mean, that's another show that's like, it kind of had a lower budget, but you could tell they were trying. I mean, there was some really interesting animation choices in that show, I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
And, Doug is... when I was knocking the game earlier, like how frustrating it is to play, I think Doug is an animator first and a gamer second, because the games don't age very well, but God, this cartoon does.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, he was the creator for the whole thing, not just the animated series, but the games as well, according to what it says here. So then we get into, like I said, the Secret of the Universe, where Evil the Cat steals Jim's snow globe, which contains the nameless beast, whose name is Rosebud, who knows the great secret of the universe.
Now, I may look like a Throcktar or Galgamort the Destroyer. What's the monster to do? That episode was a running gag with me and my friends throughout high school. No, it wouldn't have been high school, because it was later than that. But it was a running gag for a long time with us.
Mm. We've got Bring Me the Head of Earthworm Jim, where Psycrow and Professor Monkey for a Head reminisce about the time they captured Earthworm Jim by replacing his supersuit with a weak duplicate. That was funny. The weak duplicate. Oh my God.
And I love how they just forgot that what's the character, Snot?
Yeah,
that Snot was in the suit the entire time, and like that's part of how they got the suit back, was like getting Snot to appear.
Mm. And then we've got Queen What's-Her-Name, because Princess What's-Her-Name finally overthrows her tyrant sister, Queen Slug for a Butt.
Mm-hmm.
That was more bugs than I cared to really. I'm not a bug person.
I think that's the one where they did the I Love Lucy jokes, because she moved in with the character Ethel, and that's when they decided that Queen Slug for a Butt, her name is Lucy.
Yeah. That was a little weird. Final episode for season 1. The Anti-Fish, Jim and Bob, must join forces to save the great worm spirit from being consumed by its arch nemesis, the Anti-Fish. I loved this episode. This episode was hilarious, only because I think it is not listed on the certain website that I'm looking at, but I'm going to go to another one right now. I think the Anti-Fish was Kevin Michael Richardson.
It may have been.
I really think it was. But I was right. The Anti-Fish. Yep. I knew that was Kevin Michael Richardson. But I just love that. The fact that Jim and Bob have to team up. Because that's not awkward at all. Oh my God. What are some of your favorites from the last 6 episodes?
Basically what I had alluded to earlier, which was the snow globe character that had the funny name. He was Rosebud. He should have like a more intimidating name, but he doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
The Egg Beater episode was funny because that neighbor character just kept getting the crap beaten out of her for the entire episode. And she continues to be like the butt of jokes whenever she appears. Like she's always getting mean episodes. I think that's pretty much like the highlights. I mean, I think the first 7 episodes were a little stronger, but these, like I said, there is no bad episode in this show.
Yeah, there really isn't. And they get better as we go along into season 2, which we'll talk about next week. Anything animation wise that you enjoyed, or anything you had a problem with on these 6?
No, like I said, like the first episode, which we talked about last episode, the first episode had the only glitches that really bothered me. But like here, nothing. It's all good animation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I'm really surprised that this did not go longer than 2 seasons. I'm really surprised. Maybe they wanted to just capture the moments of having the game there, the whole tie-in thing. But
I have to think that it's just a budget thing because
could be.
Normally cartoons that have a product tie-in, they're actually toys and action figures, and this just had a game attached to it. So once the game was off the shelf, then you're not really, that's not covering the budget for the show. So because cartoons back then were basically loss leaders. So if you didn't have a toy or some product attached to it, then then there's no show.
Yeah, and I mean they did have a toy line. Playmates did do a series of action figures.
Oh, that is true. Yeah.
But I guess they weren't selling well. So and I find it funny that almost 10 years ago, next year, 10 years ago, a new Earthworm Jim television series from 2008 was announced. Nothing has resulted from this announcement. That's just crazy.
That's too bad.
Yeah, it is too bad. And it is on DVD, but neither one of them include any bonus features, which is weird because the way that the bonus features that I've had that I saw, they did it almost as commercial breaks.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we'll be right back after this and come back to see more about, And it got released weird for media. It got released in the UK first on 3 VHS tapes. And then Visual Entertainment was supposed to put it out on DVD July 10th of 2012. It was delayed right before the release to late October. It finally, like I said, did come out. But again, I don't know why the 4 bonus features I saw are not on these DVDs. Like, maybe the quality wasn't that good, or I don't know what the deal was with that, but strange.
Well, usually that wouldn't be a problem, but I don't know.
Yeah, normally it wouldn't be at all. So, All right, folks, I think that's going to do it for us in episode 67. I know the last 2 weeks have been short. Next week, I promise, will be a little bit longer because we're going to talk about the final 10 episodes of Season 2 all in one go. We're not going to split it up. Where can the people find you on social media, sir?
Peelan Bailey on Twitter. God damn it, I can't remember the Facebook page.
Facebook is just search TV's Mr. Neil. You'll find him.
Yeah, it's like something like Raving Hipster or something like that. I think that's it. Facebook.com/raving.hipster.
Oh, my God.
Also, Decian Comic and Decian.com because it's actually updated. Oh, my God.
Is it really?
Yeah, I actually put up 2 new comics since the last time we were recording episodes. There's
awesome.
Chapter 11, Part 1, because it's a goddamn huge chapter. What the hell am I doing? And then there's like a short story called, I can't remember the name of the short story now. It's like, I don't know, you'll see it. It's on the front page. But anyway, yeah, that's pretty much all for me.
Alright, you can find me at TFG and Mike on Twitter, at Geekcast Radio on Twitter for all of the network updates. As I said before, Pixels in the Animation is back. We will be doing a hell of a lot more episodes this year in 2017. As I said, later on, sometime late spring, early summer, we're going to be celebrating 25 years of Sonic the Hedgehog as we go through most of the Sonic cartoons episode by episode, 3 episodes per podcast. And yeah, that's going to be interesting. Thank God I stopped making the schedule right before Sonic Boom started airing.
A gun in my mouth.
It's kind of like Daffy after he got shot. Oh, guess what, Laughing Boy? There was one bullet left. I know. Alright, we'll catch you next time here on Pixels in the Animation.
It's action. It's drama. It's comedy. It's Decian, the superhero webcomic. Decian's got superhero antics and sexy girls. Read it now at Decian.com. DASIEN.com.
Reunited with the Pudgy Hippo. Life is good. Only one thing could spoil my mood now. What's that, Jim?
Oh.